Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to talk about weight loss. You know I don't like that word, but it's about getting healthier, gaining health, losing weight. All right, so as you guys know, I've been in this space a long time. I don't like to use the term loss because you always find what you lose, right? But if you focus on gaining health, then that puts you on a different course and you'll end up losing the weight, right? But I have had so many people become very successful. I've had so many people just never get out of the starting gate. That's the reality, but they were doing it for the wrong reasons, I believe. Anyway, so I had this this one friend of mine. She used to be my supervisor, and then she hired me to do this, right? To get in shape. And she ended up losing 80 pounds in a year's time. And everybody's like, wow, I want to lose 80 pounds. Most people don't want to lose 80 pounds in a year. They want to lose 80 pounds right now, right? And that's where our culture is about now, instead of focus on how to lose 2 pounds and then making that process a new way of life, right? And if you just start eating better, doing things like that, the weight will fall off of you. This person, she stopped drinking. And a lot of you will say, well, that doesn't apply to somebody in their 50s going through menopause. That was her. That was her exactly. And I posted the picture on Facebook, and this got my challenge a lot of reaction. It got me put in jail on Facebook too for promoting untrue, what is it called, unverifiable facts or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but this actually happened. The before and after pictures there. Anyway, so big thing you did is, she started moving every day. She stopped drinking alcohol. Alcohol causes so much inflammation throughout the body. And then slowly started focusing on what she was eating, how she was eating. But just by removing the alcohol and getting in that routine of exercise, something every day, she was able to really see some changes happening gradually, but they were so beneficial that she did not want to stop. And I think that's where you just have to focus on those little pieces, that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can get overwhelmed by the big thing. But I think a lot of people hear that I've lost 7 pounds or I lost 10 pounds, and they want to know what you did. Like, what did you do? Like it's a thing. Like a certain diet, like keto or whatever. Every diet works, but just not for every person, okay? So if you want to do, like Weight Watchers is great. The reason Weight Watchers works is it kind of gamifies it and it makes it simple. You can go buy their foods in the store. It's great, it works. But you can also figure out how to do that yourself a little bit cheaper. And so many times we don't want to educate ourselves or just be aware of what happens. Like I tell people, when you eat something right now, if I eat this plant right now, it's going to be in my stomach 2 to 3 hours. So it's not possible that I'm going to be hungry in 30 minutes, but my brain will go, wait a minute, that tasted good, or you missed that texture, and we have a little bit more room now. We need more of it. That's not true hunger, right? And so you have to understand what you're really feeling. When I started losing weight, I lost 30 pounds in just the last couple years. I wasn't overweight. A lot of people can just tell I've leaned up. But what I call is the Buddhism approach, where you're just aware of what you're eating. You eat something, and then you just stop and go, okay, am I still hungry? Or is it texture? Does it taste good? Is it salt? Like, what is it? Why am I still eating this? And if you can't really identify it, just stop. And you won't die. I've gone 2 days without eating before just to see if I could. I didn't die. I didn't even lose a ton of weight. So it's not, you can go longer than you think. It's mainly mental. Now then, with that being said, let me talk about people that have failed. And I had this one person, and he was on every type of keto and fasting and all these different groups on Facebook, knew the information, could rattle it back to me or correct me if I was wrong, but yet couldn't apply it to his own life. And I'm like, well, you're not you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk, right? And he would say, well, it's just at night I can't help but eat these things. And I would just comment back like, well, it's too bad someone snuck those into your house. No, you literally bought those and brought them into your house. Like, would you buy crack and bring it into your house if you have a drug problem? Probably not. You probably wouldn't even buy crack if you didn't have a drug problem. But I'm saying you're literally buying those things and putting it in there. You don't have the self-control to do it. And what I would ask people too, and this is where it gets really bad, and a lot of people just don't like this, like if you're overweight, why are you overweight? We can't use the term fat anymore, but that's still a thing, right? But why are you overweight? Well, and they list all these things. Well, okay, if it's that easy, just stop doing that. And they won't. They don't want to change their life. They want to be comfortable, but they're not actually comfortable. And it's just like anything else. If you've ever had anybody that's gotten in shape, lost weight, whatever, all you have to do is follow the recipe they had. Follow their trajectory, and it'll take you to the same spot, right? But it doesn't really matter kind of where you are. It's just if you want to be better than where you are, and then focus on how to get there. I believe firmly in routines. I believe first thing in the morning, you got to get up, you got to get moving. I'm a firm believer in that. People I've worked with, that's what I tell them. You got to get up, you got to move, and it is more mental than it's physical. You don't have to be on the treadmill for an hour. You don't have to do all that. You just have to get moving a little bit at a time. Just push yourself to be uncomfortable for just a moment, not an hour. And I think that's the real key to this, is just getting out of your comfort zone. So here's the two main reasons that I believe, and I've seen why people fail at this. Number one, it's mental. They're telling themselves lies, or they're repeating an old story that's just not true. You can do anything you want to do in this world, in this life. You got to want to do it. And I think too many times we have things we were told as children or whatever that is stalling us out or making us believe we can't do it. I've had so many people believe that, oh, I can't do this because my knee's bad. I'm like, no, your knee's not bad. It's just in pain or it's uncomfortable. And sure enough, that was the case. They never actually hurt their knee. They were just told their whole life it was, so I can't run, whatever. So I think changing those mentals, removing those barriers are huge. The number two is people don't have good information. You know, like I'll take keto as an example. Personally, keto is a really good thing to do the first part of your day. But the true keto diet that I know so many people got into, they're eating bacon, all that stuff, it's not realistic. It stresses your organs. Like, it's not healthy to do that. Take one person who has a good success with it, that's not really the best thing to do for you. So you got to figure out how you feel, and you got to really study it up or try a few different things. Whatever works, works. Focus on just an inch, not a mile. You know, don't worry about how it's going to affect you when you're 90. Just worry about feeling better for a little bit and then expand on that. The bad information can just send you down the path of going back to the mental stress that you just put on yourself because you just felt at this because it's not realistic. And so I think that's just where you got to really have good information, have that belief system, but just really find, just ask. There's a million results on Google. Just look, start looking, Most doctors don't know. You got to start digging for yourself. So most doctors I've actually dealt with as clients don't really know anything about nutrition. They didn't learn that. This is going to sound bad, but they know how to prescribe, refer, or cut. Like, that's it. They don't understand the value of food as medicine, and they couldn't actually help themselves with nutrition and healthy eating, or getting out of the fad diets and things like that. So understand your source, understand where your information is coming from, and just figure out what works for you. Now here's the two reasons I see people succeed with getting healthier, losing weight. So first off is realistic goals. And I had, my weight loss challenge, I can't remember what it was. If you lost 20% of your goal weight, if you lost, I don't know, whatever it was, a percentage of your goal weight in 30 days, I gave you half your money back. Everybody was so focused on losing all that weight in such a short time that they kind of missed the big picture. The big picture of the goal should be to lose that 80 pounds in a year or lose 2 pounds in a week and then build on that. That should really be your goal, not that I want to lose it all right now. I mean, if that's the case, like I tell people, just air doesn't make you fat. Stop eating. Stop eating, you'll lose weight. But that's not sustainable. That's a horrible goal. And if you look at your pattern of unrealistic goals, it probably is this vicious cycle of you've had these unrealistic goals, you lose a little bit, and then you come right back around. Like it's just this cycle that just keeps going back and forth. You got to break that cycle and set different goals. Dial it back a little bit. So many times we're all or nothing society, and you have to just set a better goal. Number 2 is discipline. And I've said this on social media that only about 3% of you can live the kind of life or be like me, right? And here's why is, when I became plant-based, I changed my brain that this is the only way for me. Roger that. I haven't looked back. Number 2 is I get up every day at 4 o'clock. And if you want to know what time I wake up, look at my Facebook post because it was probably about 20 minutes before that. Every morning I do that, but I'm like every day at 4 o'clock I'm up. The only reason I don't set alarm is if when I look at my sleep data, my heart rate was not in the 40s when I was sleeping. That means I'm overtired and I need to just not have an alarm and go that. Now that's my structure, right? But now I've decided discipline-wise that I'm not as active as I was because I'm not training for an event. So starting in tomorrow, actually, I'm gonna run every single day for 100 days. My minimum run will be 10 minutes. Some days it'll go longer. Some days I'm not gonna wanna run, but I know if I put that out there, if I just decide right here, it'll happen, right? And so that discipline has to be something you can do on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be, I'm not gonna brush my teeth with my right hand anymore, only my left, because you know what I mean? Because you're gonna forget, that's not realistic. But if you have those little fail safes in there, that's what's key to achieving that discipline goal. And you have to not everybody can be David Goggins, right? Like not everybody's like that. I'm not like that. When I'm uncomfortable, I can feel pain. I can handle a lot of pain, but it's still, you have to set those things for you every day. Now I do think getting up early at 4 o'clock every day, Monday through Sunday is key. Like there's no break in that schedule. If I have a day where I don't need to get up, I'll have a nap that day, but otherwise get up every day at the same time. Set that routine. That's my discipline. And I don't break out of my discipline. Rarely do I ever, but that's what helps me stay at peace and feel better physically, mentally, emotionally. With discipline, I know I can at least run 10 minutes every day, right? I know there's gonna be a lot of days where I don't want to, but I think it's important to have those small bites you're gonna take of your discipline. So a lot of times people don't wanna go to the gym every day or don't do something every day, or they can't do so many push-ups. I'm like, just do 1 push-up every day. If you do 1 push-up every day, eventually you're gonna do more than 1, and you're not gonna realize it. But if you just make it to where every day you get out of bed, you drop down, do 1 push-up every day, or 1 plank for 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. Just do one thing every single day without fail, and then eventually you might get busy and miss it, but if that's your new thing you do, and then tell the world about it. I believe in accountability. I think that's huge when it comes to discipline. All right, so in the comments below, let me know your successes, let me know your failures, let me know what you think is gonna work for you, what's your next thing you're gonna try, run it by me. If you need help, let me know. I'm always here to help. Bye.